Alright, let's dive into something that's both fascinating and a bit underrated in Hollywood history. Ever heard of Warren Beatty? Of course you have, the guy's a legend. But here's the twist, his sister, Shirley MacLaine, is just as iconic, and they're one of the rarest pairs in Hollywood, sibling Oscar winners. Only 20 pairs have pulled that off. But what makes this story really interesting is how their paths, though parallel, are also wildly different. It's like they're two sides of the same coin, but each side has its own story to tell. First, let's talk about Warren. Born in 1937, he's now 89 and still a name that commands respect. What many people don't realize is that he was inspired by his older sister to get into acting. That's right, Shirley was the trailblazer here. Warren's career took off in the late 50s, and by 1961, he was a big deal with Splendor in the grass. But here's where it gets intriguing. Warren wasn't just an actor, he was a strategist. He spent years building up funds to start his own production company, Tyra. That's a level of ambition that's easy to overlook. By the time he produced and starred in Bonnie and Clyde in 1967, he was already a force to be reckoned with. And let's not forget the Oscars, 5 nominations before finally winning Best Director for Reds in 1981. Personally, I think what stands out is his ability to balance creativity with business acumen. Not many actors can pull that off. Now, let's shift to Shirley MacLaine. Born in 1934, she's 3 years older than Warren, and her career trajectory is just as impressive, if not more so. She started with ballet, moved to New York, and by 1955, she was in Alfred Hitchcock's The Trouble with Harry. That's a debut that screams, "I'm here to stay." What's fascinating is how quickly she established herself as a leading lady. Her Golden Globe for New Star of the Year in 1955 set the stage, and her Oscar nominations for some came running, and The Apartment solidified her status. But here's the kicker, she didn't win her Oscar until 1983 for Terms of Endearment. That's nearly 3 decades of relentless work. If you take a step back and think about it, her career is a masterclass in perseverance and adaptability. What makes this sibling duo even more compelling is their personal lives. Warren, for decades, was Hollywood's ultimate playboy, dating everyone from Joan Collins to Madonna. But in 1992, he settled down with Annette Bening, and they've been together ever since. That's a narrative shift that's both surprising and kind of heartwarming. On the other hand, Shirley's personal life has been more controversial. Her marriage to Steve Parker lasted nearly 3 decades, but her relationship with her daughter, Sachi, has been strained, with allegations of neglect. And then there's her fascination with metaphysics and spirituality. Her book Out on a Limb was both celebrated and mocked. What this really suggests is that these two siblings, despite their fame, have lived lives that are deeply human, with all the complexities that come with it. Here's a detail I find fascinating. Despite their closeness, Warren and Shirley have never worked together on screen. Shirley once revealed that she was almost cast as Bonnie in Bonnie and Clyde, but when Warren was cast as Clyde, the producers went with someone else. In my opinion, that's a missed opportunity that could have redefined their careers. But it also speaks to their professionalism. They've managed to maintain a close relationship without letting their careers overlap. From my perspective, that's a rare kind of respect and boundary setting that's worth admiring. So, what's the bigger picture here? Warren Beatty and Shirley MacLaine aren't just siblings who happen to be famous. They're representatives of a bygone era in Hollywood, where talent, ambition, and charisma were the currency. Their stories remind us that success isn't just about talent, it's about strategy, resilience, and sometimes, sheer luck. Personally, I think their legacy is a testament to the idea that greatness can run in families, but it's what you do with it that truly matters. As we wrap this up, I'm left with a question for you. What do you think it takes to build a legacy like theirs? Is it talent, timing, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Until next time.